Should Reggie Bush get his Heisman back?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if Reggie would have took my advice to begin with, this would have been a duplicate Heisman, because I told Reggie at the time they asked it back, I said, man, give him the Heisman back, chop it up in a million damn pieces, put it in a box and send it to him. But yes, he absolutely 100% should. We all saw with our own damn eyes that Reggie Bush was a dominant football player. Anything that they claimed went on off the field certainly did contribute to what we saw on the field. On the football field is why he won the Heisman, not based on something that someone said he got in extra benefits. That's not why he won the Heisman. He won because he broke records. He won because he was the most electrifying, dominant football player at that time that we've seen. So he deserves it 100% in USC, my university, my athletic department, to get involved and contact the NC2A, the Heisman Trophy Committee, and let them know, send us a new shiny one with Reggie Bush's name on it, period.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to say no.
Man, what are you? Oh, come on.
Keyshawn,
you just talking now.
No, well, of course I'm just talking. That's what we do. That's how we make our living, by vat mouthing. That's what we do from that standpoint, Keyshawn. And I understand the whole situation about how he won the Heisman on the field. I get it. I understand that. But then when does it stop? When are we going to continue to play revisionist history because the NCAA, phony amateurism, like Jay Billis said, and cronyism and all that stuff? Whatever the vagueness is of this whole situation, the fact of the matter is we're having this conversation because of three letters, NIL. If the NIL was not in place, I don't believe we'd be having this groundswell of supporters saying that Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back. Or Reggie Bush wanted to feel.
I always felt, Freddie, they should have never took it from me.
I get it, but I understand that. But this conversation is ramping up even more because of what's happening in 2021. Not what happened back then. Whatever we believe about Reggie Bush, whatever we believe is something improper or proper went on, whatever that is. The fact of the matter is to go back in history and to right some wrong, then when does it end? And then it's not going to end, because I know if I'm somebody else, I'm thinking, well, that point was taken away from me in the game. Why don't you give that back to me? I think it's opening up too much of a Pandora's box that once you go down that slope, then there's no coming back from it, because it's not just a right or wrong here, or wrong was committed, or trying to right that wrong. To me, it's a little bit bigger than that. That's why the NIL's in place, because we couldn't do that back then. We couldn't do that for the Keyshawn Johnsons of the world. We couldn't do that for other people. But we're trying to do it now and go back in the past. And I don't think you can do that when it comes to Reggie Bush getting his Heisman back.
But, Freddie, it's a case-by-case basis. You're talking about somebody wants a point back because of this.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to get a record back because of that. We're talking about taking a piece of hardware away from an individual that performed on the field. Off the field stuff had nothing to do with this. Nothing at all. Not one thing at all. If you wanted to punish Reggie Bush for off the field behavior or whatever you want to call it, that's fine. This award is about being on the field. You don't get an award for having the most endorsements as a college athlete. You don't get a reward for having made the most money off the field as a college athlete. You get this award because you performed at the highest level of anybody at the point in time in which you played against or during that time period. That's how you win the Heisman.
Keyshawn, I get it. But whether we like the rules or not, according to the NCAA, and like I said, I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm not an NCAA fan. But according to NCAA, certain rules were violated, or rules were violated in this situation that will affect your status on a football field or a basketball court or a baseball field. I don't like the rules either. I couldn't stand those rules. I didn't like the fact that athletes were not getting paid.
So let me ask you this then, Freddie. So how can the NC2A and the Heisman Committee go retroactive to take the Heisman back? Because remember, Reggie Bush had played that junior year and was playing on the field and doing everything that he needed to do while under investigation. In the end, the season was over. He wins the Heisman while still under investigation. But it's okay for the NC2A to go and be retroactive and take the Heisman, but it's not okay to go retroactive and give it back.
Because this is beyond an NCAA matter because the NIL is outside the NCAA now. That's why we're having this conversation based on what's going on in 2021. If I had my way, he would have never lost the Heisman to begin with. It would have never been taken away. But the fact of the matter is it was because according to NCAA rules back then, he violated those rules and it affected his status on the football field. Is it unfair to have that applied to him? Absolutely. But those were the rules in place, Key, and I hate that those rules were in place. But if you violated those rules, he was not the only one that got punished by the NCAA. In this case, he got punished because he lost the best trophy in college football, one of the best trophies in sports when it comes to the Heisman Trophy. But for all of a sudden to go back now, I'm with you. I hear it. With the retroactive stuff, the NCAA is an unfair organization. In an unfair world, then Reggie Bush should get his Heisman back. But the reason that this conversation is happening is because of what the NCAA did not do all these years. And we tried to hold them accountable, but they're too powerful of an institution to be held accountable. Now their power structure is crumbling at our feet. It's crumbling at their feet right now. And now everybody wants to get their prizes back. It's going to be very hard to just placate everybody in a case-by-case business. We don't have that kind of time in our lifetimes to make sure that right's going to be wrong.
It's not that hard. All you got to do is get a man the damn trophy back. It's simple.
But
hey,
can you
you
play
can
for
have
the
your trophy
NCAA?
back. Much like USC, our university said, Reggie Bush has to stay away from the university.
Right.
We got a new president. We got a new athletic director, along with Matt Leinart and other athletes that went to USC. They said, yo, Reggie Bush is part of our family. Go to the NC2A and let their ass know that Reggie Bush can come around our university and be a part of our program again.
Yeah, I
we were
get
able
that.
to do that,
I
so
get
go
that.
and get the trophy.
But this is a different deal because you're talking about dealing with the Heisman Trophy Committee and NCAA. Do you know how hard it is to push things through the NCAA? Kid, you played in the NCAA.
It's not that hard if you want to do it.
If you want to do it, but the NCAA is like the mafia. If they don't want you to get involved in something to protect their interests, they're going to make it that much harder for you, and they're going to try to outlast you more than anything else. That's what they're counting on in this situation, that they're going to outlast. They're going to try to do the same thing to Reggie Bush that Major League Baseball's done to Pete Rose.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.